everyone. Okay, so today I just wanted to do something a little bit different. I decided I would do a tarot card reading to kind of show everyone how to do a tarot card reading and, how I personally go about this. Today it is the Celtic Cross layout, and I'm just going to kind of do a walkthrough and show some examples and what these cards mean and what order that they are in. So right now what we have is number 1, we have number 2, then we have 3, 4, 5, and then we have number 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And I know you can't really see maybe the card up here too well or down here, but I'm going to show the cards as I turn them and kind of explain everything and what each card symbolizes. So I'm going to be doing this reading on myself, of course, to just kind of give an example on what these cards mean. Now, of course, this is not the entire deck. Tarot cards tend to come in decks with a mass quantity of cards, and what each card represents, of course, is different things. You'll take your tarot cards and, of course, you will lay them out in whatever type of reading you are doing, and then from there, whatever placement and number card is what that represents. So, since we have number 1 and number 2 right here, I'm going to go ahead and move number 2 to the side, just so we can flip over number 1 to read number 1. So number 1 on the Celtic Cross layout is going to represent the client, or if you're reading it on yourself, you right now and what is most pronounced in your life. So I'm going to go ahead and flip this over, and we have the Lovers. Okay, so this is a great card. This is a wonderful card. It can represent many things. It can represent the love for another, and it kind of serves as a reminder for always being emotionally open and caring for your partner. So always be emotionally open and caring for your partner. The Lovers, it's kind of self-explanatory. A lot of people will read off these cards what they kind of get a sense for themselves. So if you're doing this reading for a friend or you're doing this reading on yourself, you'll kind of get an understanding on what this card might mean to you based on what it's supposed to represent and whatever spot it's in. So this, of course, in this spot represents me right now and what is most pronounced in my life, and it says the Lovers. To me, that's a beautiful thing. I kind of think about myself and my boyfriend. I think about our relationship and how it's very pronounced in my life right now, getting my life started with my boyfriend, and growing as adults and growing as people. So that's a great card to have. So we can go on to number 2, which is this card here that we moved that was sitting like so, because this card can help or hinder you on your path, which is kind of why it's over where you are right now. So what this card represents is something that can help or hinder you on your path. And we have Happiness, so that's another great card. Obviously, I think this one is more in the category of what can help me on my path. So, because we have Happiness, this card kind of represents inner harmony, kind of a sense of bliss. So I think, of course, maintaining happiness in my life can do nothing but help me on my path in life. So this card, for me, is pretty self-explanatory. Of course, these cards, given if I was doing a reading for a friend, they could represent something completely different for that friend. However, since I'm doing this reading for myself, I can kind of see where these cards play in and what they represent to me, and so far things seem to be going pretty well. And so we have number 2 now, so let's go on to number 3. So number 3 is a card of the subconscious. It represents unknown wants and desires. So let's go ahead and see what this is. And we have Works. So this card, kind of again self-explanatory for me, it says works. And even the art itself kind of speaks out to me a little bit in regards to that. It looks like a very determined type card. It looks very, I don't know the word for it, just very focused. And it kind of makes sense because this card represents like an effort with great determination. It often comes up to represent achievements in the working area, which kind of makes sense to me because I have, of course, have been honored enough to receive a promotion at my job that I have been at for a while. I got this promotion a while back, so that's good. And then not only that, but it kind of to me represents growing in the workplace as a whole. I hope to just move up in the company. I hope, to continue to advance in my workplace, and in life in any workplace. I hope to receive a promotion or to continue to grow. So this to me is another pretty positive card. And so let's see. So we have number 3. Let's go to number 4. So number 4 is the card of the past, still affecting you. So this card represents your past and things that are still affecting you. So this one is the Ace of Discs. So the Ace of Discs kind of represents a project that keeps growing, shows a new job, business venture, etc. Marks something new and important. So again, that's kind of interesting to me that I got this one and then I got this one because they kind of tie in together in my opinion. So pretty positive card, pretty interesting for me. And again, people might interpret it kind of different. Just kind of depends on your reading and you as a person. So number 5 is up here, and this represents hopes, ideas, and goals that you or whoever you're reading for is aware of. So this card that we have here is Fortune. So I want to hold it up a little bit because I know it's kind of up here. So Fortune, so for me, this card is hopes, ideas, and goals that I am aware of. So for this, you need to realize your own power to create a beneficial future. We make our own luck. Fortune comes from within, however. So on this card and other cards like this, you may see a wheel, and you'll see on this card animals. Some are hanging on pretty well, some seem to be falling a bit. It all depends on you and how you put your own inner power into it. So you make your own fortune, you make your own luck. Fortune, more so than you making your own fortune though, it comes from within. Of course you can kind of make your own path, but it's more so how you go about it, if that makes any sense at all. It does for me. I can definitely see where that would play in. This is definitely hopes, ideas, and goals that I'm aware of is to be successful. Not so much fortune just in the material sense, but fortune in the sense of having good luck, having good energies, everything like that. It's kind of difficult for me to put into words, but it makes sense to me. And it's just the idea of showing what these cards represent, because your card layout may be entirely different, and you can research what each card means, and it might mean something completely different for you personally. So number 6 is what we're going to go on to now, and number 6 is the near future, and it can be changed. So let's go ahead and flip this. Success. So my near future can be changed is success. And I think the reason they emphasize that it can be changed is if you get a bad card and you want to change it to, something good. So if you got failure as your card rather than success, it's just kind of reassuring that during this reading, it can be changed. Even success can be changed if I decided to do something completely out of line or something completely altering my line of success. So once we let our own success flow, we can have success. Confidence, self-belief, it's kind of your overall approach to everything. Just let your own power flow. You can have your success. You just have to kind of take life in your own hands and make something of it. If that makes any sense at all, again, it does for me. So we can go on to number 7, which is down here. I'll hold this one up since it's a little bit cut off. Now this represents you or the client you're reading for and their approach to things. So we have the Princess of Discs. So for this card here, it's often representing a woman that's quiet, often comes with expecting a child. However, I am not expecting a child. I think it kind of is just showing more so of maternal type instincts, womanly instincts and responsibilities, which makes sense for me. I do have many responsibilities in life. The quiet part, I can be quiet in certain surroundings, but I'm usually pretty loud and outgoing, honestly. But this can represent someone who is reliable, trustworthy. So that, for me, is right on top of it. I'm a very reliable and trustworthy person. And it also kind of represents just being in love with life. And I definitely value my life, and I'm definitely very much in love with life. And so that's, yet again, a wonderful card. Kind of represents me as a person. Often people in these readings will depict this as more someone in their life, but I can kind of see it as me, and maybe even some of my loved ones, so that kind of makes a lot of sense to me. So we're going to go on to number 8, and this represents environment. So I'm going to move this to the side just to flip this over here. So this here represents my environment, and this is love. Beautiful card. Again, this reading has been pretty great for me. So my environment is love. And this is kind of just a reminder to love ourselves as people, and that we are valued as people. So this to me represents that my family, my boyfriend, all my loved ones value me as a person, and kind of sets a tone as a reminder to do to do the same back, so to speak. So for that, representing my environment, wonderful card. Number 9 is something I need to know about and be aware of. So again, I'm going to kind of scoot the one on top a bit so I can flip this one. And this one is the Star. So the Star, beautiful card. I love the art on this one. I've had this one before. This one represents something you need to know and be aware of. So the Star is hope, new life, life to become easier and brighter. So I guess this is kind of letting me know that life for me is going to go on a good path, that I need to be aware of that, I guess, to keep myself on the correct track. It's pretty much saying I have a bright future. So I love that card. A lot of people depict stars as representing many things. People say stars represent hope, dreams, ideas. Beautiful card. Love that it is in the place of showing me what I need to be aware of, my hopes, ideas, dreams, future. I love that. So that is a wonderful thing to have. And last we have card number 10, which is the card of the distant future. So let's go ahead and see what this is. And this is wealth. So the card of the distant future for me is wealth. A great card so far. I can honestly say my reading went wonderfully. So number 10 is the card of the distant future. So for wealth, it doesn't just represent material wealth, but it can represent inner wealth as well. So basically, if this card came up in like a regular reading, it's kind of showing that there's no need to be worried, concerned, anything like that, because financial stability is fine. No need to be alarmed. So my financial stability as of now is fine. So I guess it's showing me in the distant future. It should be fine. I will have good wealth. Kind of a self-explanatory card. Might represent something more different in someone else's opinion if they were doing the reading on themselves or a friend. But this is my reading, and this is pretty much the Celtic Cross layout, and that's how you go about it and what each card should represent. Now there's other ways to do tarot card readings. So again, it could all be researched, but I hope you guys enjoyed mine, and just keep watching. I do have more investigations on the way, and I do have more Spirit Story Saturdays on the way. I know I mentioned a while back in one of my videos that I'd have an investigation coming up of a pretty known location, and I know it's yet to come out, but that is still being planned. Nothing ended up not working out. It's still being planned, so I will have that big of an investigation coming up for you guys. So just keep watching, and I hope you enjoyed.